Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the first episode of Turning Art into Assets. I just want to start off by saying, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just trying to figure out a way to document my process for making art, document the process of digitizing it or making it so it's available for sale. Yeah, I don't know, I'll probably get better as the episodes go along, figure out how to film, how to edit better, find different ways, revenue streams that I could use my art for. But just starting off the bat, I'm just gonna go with something I know how to do. In this episode, I'm going to use a block print that I've already carved. It's this crab block print on a thin piece of linoleum. And what I plan on doing with this is I'm gonna make a series with I've never done a series with this. I've printed some artist proofs and some people out there have a couple of those, but I've never done a series. So my plan in this episode is to make a series of 10 that are just, that I will put up on my website and I'll sell. They'll be the real prints, like printmaking prints. But one other thing that I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna scan one of those, clean it up in Illustrator, explore putting it on Etsy, explore putting it on Amazon Business, and see if I can also generate a way to have that image just keep working for me. It's not gonna be a crazy money maker, but what the point of this is to get a whole bunch of these things going. So maybe I get a passive income coming in of a couple $100 a month. I do this with every block print I've ever made. And I get 20 or 30 of these prints up on Etsy, on Amazon, on any other drop shipping platform. Yeah, that's really what I'm gonna do. And I kind of just wanna break down what I'm doing, why I'm doing this. So I'm 51 years old. I've been an artist forever. Since I was a teenager in high school, and I never stopped. I never made a lot of money from art. Now, my skills that I developed from art, I definitely have made a living doing graphic design, package design, just using my creativity any way that I could get, a job or someone to pay me to do something. So in a way, my art has helped support my life. I've definitely had jobs that had nothing to do with art. But the creativity part of it, I think, has always, no matter what I was doing, it will show through. That being said, so I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this so that I can generate some passive income the older I get. I'm thinking about retirement. I never had a real job that saved for retirement. So, as I get older in years and start thinking about these are things that, who knows who's watching this, maybe you're 18, maybe you're 30, maybe you're 50 also. I'm gonna show you how I try these things, what platforms I use. Hopefully I inspire someone to do the same thing. Some of them might not work. I've done drop shipping before. I've had these kind of things working in the background before, but I didn't put that much effort into it. I didn't really study what it took to do the SEO or maybe even boost their listings. Who knows, maybe throwing $30 on a Etsy listing gets 5,000 more eyes on it and 10% of those become sales. I don't know. So there's gonna be some successes, there's gonna be some failures. That's just how it goes though, and it's I could wait till I was filming all perfect or had someone filming for me or recording the sound and maybe eventually I could grow this into that. But right now, this is just do it yourself, me trying to share the process of what I'm doing. Hopefully it is of value to you and hopefully it's of value to me, I would love some passive income. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on these prints. I'm gonna try to get at least 10 clean ones. I might print 15 and throw away 5 or have them, to give away to family or friends or whatever, but get a nice clean series that I can number 1 through 10. And then I'll show you how I do that. I'll film peeling some prints and pressing them and trying to do the best I can. I'm no pro at it. So, it's you get what you get. You can see how it's done. And then I'll talk about what it takes to get it digitized and what it takes to get onto a drop shipper. And I'm gonna be using Printful for that. They offer a bunch of different print sizes. They also integrate with Etsy, they integrate with Amazon, they integrate with my own website, coldtothewild.com. I'll show you how that goes too. Now, from there, I could even take that same image, I could put it on sweatshirts, I could put it on t-shirts, there's a lot of stuff I could still do once I get it digitized also that's besides just prints. I guess we're gonna get cracking here. I'm gonna make some prints. I will film what I'm doing. I'll explain what I'm doing. We'll see how it goes. All right, welcome to episode number 1, Turning Art into Assets with Sonny Wong. Let's go. So what I've got set up here is this production line for myself. I've got a piece of glass that I roll my ink out on, a roller to roll the ink onto the block. Okay, simple. I've got this press from Ritualist Press. I'll put a link in the bio. You can check them out. They're pretty cool. I've had trouble printing this type of block. Like, this is going to be a challenge, and this could be the type of paper that I'm using. I'm using watercolor paper now. I need to get some, maybe a little bit lighter paper. So I've got a 12 by 18. I think I rip it in half. It fits the print on it, but it's a little stiff. I feel like if the paper was a little thinner, like maybe multimedia paper or something like that, I could get a cleaner print. Like this tends to show a little texture, which is kind of cool in the print also. You know, it gives each one a little unique flavor. But so anyway, so I'm gonna roll the ink on the block. I've put, I use painter's tape, blue painter's tape, to mark where I'm gonna set the block onto the, where I'm gonna put the print block onto the base of the press. I've also marked where I have to put the corners of the paper so that when I set it down and I can let it drop right on, the print always lands in the same place, centered on the paper. You know, like trying to guess that every time is a nightmare. And it will look bad too. So do a little planning up front, set some kind of templates for yourself, and save yourself some headaches in the end, trying to get a bunch of prints that look the same when, you know, they're all over the place placement-wise on paper. So here we go. I'll probably time lapse some of this so that it's not so time consuming. It's not a big process, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll the ink on the linoleum block. I'm gonna press it, and then I'm gonna rub before I pull the paper, I'm gonna rub it with a spoon on the backside, just to try to finish up any spots that might not have pressed cleanly. So you'll see that too. And then I'll pull the print and we'll see how it turns out. All right, so we'll do a little time lapse of this first one and we'll see what's going. First one's always a doozy, right? And like I said, the problem I've been having with trying to press this thinner, harder linoleum material is it's just with this thickness of watercolor paper I've had trouble. So let's see how this goes. Rubbing it with a spoon does help, but we'll see. So you can see what I'm talking about. It's a bit grainy, right? But it's still cool. It'll look good in the frame. But I think I need to add a little bit more ink on the next one, try to get it a little wetter so that I can get a thicker black background. But you know, that's the process. So if I do end up getting, I only have enough paper for 8 prints. So if I only get 5 clean ones, it's gonna be a small series. Again, I'm gonna put those up for sale on coaltothewild.com, and then I'll also add a link to my Etsy page where the clean digital prints will also be available, and we can see how it goes from there. All right, we'll try a couple more. Okay, I added a bit more ink this time. Sometimes all that does is makes it messier, so it's going to be a fine line. I've got my linoleum block print in the right spot because I've got the template with the tape for the corners. Same thing with my paper. Put my corners, fit right in there. Then I roll the paper down on it so it doesn't move or drag across the wet ink. This little felt goes on just to help push down into the paper a little more evenly than just the wood does alone. These things fold over, creates a kind of a high pressure situation so you can really lean on it, and I don't know how much pressure that really is in there, but I'm putting all my weight on it. That's 3. I'll probably do it 5 times. But what I have learned with this more firm linoleum. And when I say that, I'm comparing it to like the pink rubber ones that look kind of like eraser material or something. Those things print really good on this. But what I've found is that you can't carve the same kind of detail into those softer ones. They're great for knocking out prints, designs. You can cut those things really easy and really quickly. Where these harder linoleums, you'll make your hand tired. You'll get tired, but it captures way more detail if you're doing intricate stuff. So what I'm doing here is just trying to get as much of this ink on the paper as possible. Anywhere that might have not had enough pressure, usually the big black areas like in the background. This is also a little exhausting. I can feel it in my forearm for sure. All right. All right, well, let's give it a shot and see if this one comes out any cleaner. There we go. Yeah. See, that's pretty clean. Now there are some, you can see at the top. I don't mind that. I don't mind a little bit of, gives it a little character. Gives each of them a little bit of character, but I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'll be able to do a scan of this one and digitize it. I'm gonna make it a vector in Illustrator. And then that way I can set the drop shipping templates to they have anything from small 4x6 prints up to 18 by 36 or 24 by 36 or something. And I can make a file for each one of those sizes, have that available on the Etsy. So if someone's looking for a $5 print or a $80 print of the crab, boom, it's right there. And if you've never set up an Etsy account, it's pretty simple to do. I can go over that also. If anyone's interested in that, just let me know in the comments. And I could go through what it takes in Illustrator. I could do all that. I'm probably gonna skip some of those details in this first episode, so it's not like an hour long. Trying to keep this kind of reasonable. But this is kind of just the essence of what this series of episodes is gonna be. With the printmaking, it's pretty simple. It's kind of, it's a little different than a painting, but I might show you the process of a painting too, or we can talk about pricing murals or any of that kind of stuff that might help. Just let me know what you want to talk about and I'll cover it. So I'm gonna try to get some more of these out, and then a little bit later I'll show you how I got it onto Etsy, and we'll wrap up this episode. All right, folks, I'm wrapping it up for the day. I got a digitized version of my crab print. I got it on Etsy. I'll put the link in the description below. And I haven't got the prints up on my website, the actual real hand printed prints. The Etsy is all digital printing from a drop shipper called Printful. Yeah, and thanks for sticking around for this first episode, the rookie episode, pilot issue of turning art into assets. And I'm just gonna keep doing this. Hopefully I get better at it. Hopefully I find something that works. I can share it with you. And we can all come up a little bit. All right, well, have a great day. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.